Yo, what's going on? We back again with another one. You know, you are at the social suite, man. What's going on, We talk business, politics, um, what's going on in the world, all that. But I hope y'all having a good day, man. I hope y'all blessed, highly favored. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and get into it though. Alright. So look, check this out. We ain't got a lot going on right now. Since the war is officially over. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that again. The war is officially over. I'm not talking about Ukraine and Russia. I'm talking about Iran, Israel, US. It's officially over. So after Trump's words about Israel and Iran, they finally came to their senses and they actually ended the war. I don't think Trump said Israel was on their way to Iran to attack them again after Iran bombed them. And he got on the phone. He said, no, you send those planes back to Israel. And that's what Israel did. After that, they ended the war. So, happy that the war is over, man, Alright, but look, let's go ahead and get into it, though. First of all, we're going to talk about how Trump, before you start a war or you attack somebody in any type of way that can start a war, you're supposed to talk to the Congress first. You got to get it approved. If you don't get it approved, then you can't just outright attack somebody because it's run by the people, all right? So they say. But in my opinion, because I tell you, I'll give my opinion about things. If he is the president of the United States of America, he does not need y'all approval. It may be written down. You may be right. The Congress may be right. But he does not need their approval to attack another country and make a great decision that he made that ended that war. Now that the war is over, it could have still been going. And in my opinion, I feel like some people just want to be in the president's shoes, Some people really want to be in the president's shoes. And that goes to say, back in the day, when there were kings and it was other people that wanted to be in those kings' shoes. I mean, it's part of life. But we ain't going to go down that rabbit hole. But for the next time, I guess Trump will be a little bit more smarter and discuss that with the Congress, because the Congress, they were really upset. Which I do believe, since it's America, and the No Kings protest, which Trump said, he admittedly say he does not want to run this nation like a king. He wants to run it like a president of the United States of America. It's hard to not be biased and make decisions. You got to be unbiased. Listen to other people, have their opinions, and then go from there. And that's good. That's good to have multiple people, because it is a lot of smart people in the United States of America. So, gave y'all my opinion, but right is right, wrong is wrong. Another thing we're going to talk about is this inflation. Inflation, they said it's low. Still have some inflation, which is 2%. Which I don't feel like it's bad, but who likes inflation? Who likes inflation? Who wants to pay more money for their food? I sure don't. I want the price to be low as possible. I want to be low as possible. I remember when housing was $700, $800 a month. Maybe 1-2 bedroom apartment, Now they $1,600. It's then doubled in price. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. So the reason why the reason why inflation goes up, because of the demand on goods and products. When it's harder for these companies to get their hands on these food and goods and stuff like that, it makes the prices go up. It's called supply chain disruptors. So anytime something happens in the supply chain, which is it's a number of things, then it could mess up the cost on the goods. It can mess up a lot of things. I'm gonna give y'all some of those things. Like COVID-19, that's a disruptor because it caused impact on when the food was coming in, especially from China. You know how Trump was saying it was China's fault, but who really knows whose fault it was? But long story short, when food is scarce in certain areas, it makes it harder for these companies to get their hands on the products to sell to y'all. So then they have to raise the prices because the demand is so low, you know? The demand is high. Also extreme weather. When you have like hurricanes, stuff like that, obviously the shipments slow down. You can't send those ships through freaking hurricane and, expect for the food to get there. It's not going to get there. It'll be at the bottom of the freaking ocean. Bikini Bottom. It's crazy. So you can't send food when it's bad weather. Also, like farmers, when they're trying to grow crops and stuff like that, especially like in California and stuff like that. You have no rainwater, you can't grow. You have fires breaking out, you can't create a farm. You can't have a farm just burnt down. Stuff like that. Also high energy. When you having to produce these foods through factories and stuff like that, it costs energy. The high energy cost plays an effect. So when you have high demand on products, when you can't get your hands on them, when you can't grow these crops, and then also the increased costs on animal feed, the feed is higher. So when you have the energy go up, you have the animal feed being higher, then these companies have to raise their price on these goods because they got to make that back to keep making this food for y'all, you know? And that all plays a role. I remember when McDonald's used to have a dollar menu. If you go to McDonald's right now, it's not a dollar menu anymore. If you want a McChicken, you want a cheeseburger, it's gonna cost about $4. It's gonna cost about $3. No longer is it a dollar anymore. Dang, there it's almost, after taxes, it's $5. It's $5. You might as well go to Chick-fil-A. I mean, it's ridiculous, and that's just, it's out of hand. But hopefully the weather start being right. Hopefully people can bring down the cost on the feeds, and maybe inflation will go down. Maybe we can stop the war in Ukraine and Russia. That'll help out a lot. But you never know. But for right now, it's not too high as a 2%, which is not crazy. But it can be a lot better. Could be zero. Seriously. But another thing I wanted to say, back in the day, the prices for housing and food, it used to be real low. It used to be out of somebody's paycheck, a normal middle class, lower class person's pay. The housing would be 25%, and the food would be about 15%. Now the housing, or I guess I don't know if it's middle class or lower class, but now the housing is 50% and the food is 25%. So that's 75% of a person's pay that's actually going towards housing and food, which is ridiculous. You barely have 25% of your money left over. You got to pay your car payment. You got to do all these other things. It's hard on the economy, But with inflation being lowered, then maybe we can have better things happening in the economy, better things happening with people in the economy, Also, enough of that. We're gonna start talking about NATO. Trump had a NATO meeting. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday Trump met with NATO and talked about the talked about the war in Iran and Israel. Don't y'all know y'all president is a funny guy? This dude is a funny guy. In the meeting, it was people asking about how the bombs didn't technically blow up Iran's nuclear facilities all the way. I guess basically what they were saying is if they move this rubble out the way, these rocks that fell down, hear me out, then they still technically have a facility left that they can still build up that facility out the blue, and it won't take them much longer. That's basically what some of these news channels were saying. They were trying to switch the words around. And Trump, he didn't appreciate that at all. Trump said, CNN, he specifically called CNN and New York Times, he called them scums. He said they're disgraceful for spreading false narratives. You can't be a news channel and spread false narratives. He goes along to say you can't even get people at your places and your news channel to bring in more viewers. He called them out. And I think that's crazy that he called them out. It's not crazy that he called them out. He needed to call them out because you can't be on there spreading false narrative. If you want to give your opinion, give your opinion, but don't be creating false narratives and saying false things when it happened the total opposite way. Okay? I'm pretty sure if Iran nuclear facilities wasn't all the way burnt down, they probably would still be at war right now because they knew they had the capabilities of firing back. But because Trump struck them the way he struck them with that B-2 bomber, we all know what we're talking about, that $2 billion aircraft, it destroyed the nuclear facilities. Also, Israel, when they blew up the facilities, we know what happened after that. So, you can't say that it barely, that's basically what they're saying, it barely messed it up. They obliterated it. That's what they said. It obliterated. So, also, that's what some Iranian official said. So, you can't be out here spreading false narratives. Let's tell the truth, people. Let's tell them how stuff really happens, you know? But, yeah, that's basically it for today. We had a few things. We didn't have too much going on right now. You know, as we can see, the world is becoming a better place. He did get on there at the NATO meeting, and he talked about Putin and Russia and Zelensky in Ukraine. So hopefully they could come to an agreement because it's a lot of stuff that can be built out there, especially on that ground that they're fighting in. With the new AI that's coming out, it's a lot of earthly minerals that we could use in the U.S. they could use over there in Ukraine and Russia and start building for a new future with this AI stuff. And I'm gonna make some videos on the AI too. I'm gonna hit y'all with some AI videos. We're gonna talk about AI because AI is gonna be coming soon. If not now, people are using AI as we speak, and AI is gonna be really big. It's gonna be taking over a lot of businesses. It's gonna be a lot of people without jobs, but it is gonna make more jobs too as well. And I encourage the youth. I encourage the young people to start learning about some AI. because AI is going to be the new future. It's going to be a little different from how we live it now. There's going to be a lot less jobs, a lot of new jobs. The economy will be changing, and as long as you paying attention to the new AI stuff and you actually learning what's going on, and Google has these classes that you can actually go to Google and you can actually learn about AI. It'll teach you about AI for free. So it's one of those things I throw out there. Go to Google, take you a class on some AI, and it'll teach you a lot of things about how AI started. It actually started in the early 1900s, if not the 1850s. People was already starting to use AI. But we'll talk about that another time. I appreciate y'all for tuning in on another video, man. Thank God that they came to agreement on peace. Now we'll see what happens next. You know, we still have these sleeper cells out here in the U.S. that could cause damage, and you know, never know how they feel right now. But yeah, I'm gonna tap back in with y'all. Hope y'all have a great rest of y'all day, great rest of y'all night, whatever time y'all tuning in, and peace out. I'll see y'all next time on another one.